I built Catan, and then I simulated 10,000 games to find the perfect winning strategy. Let me explain. Okay, so, for anyone who doesn't know, Catan is a board game. You place settlements, collect resources, build roads, upgrade those settlements to cities, race the other players to 10 victory points, and it's basically Monopoly 2 in terms of ending friendships. And a few months ago, I decided to rebuild Catan from scratch using Blazor Maui, which, for the non-developers watching, means it can run as a web app and a native desktop app. Because why not? Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this all came out of my big old stupid dum-dum brain. I started out heavily leaning on AI to help scaffold the whole thing. You know how it is. Hey Claude, generate me a hexagonal Catan board, and then it just does it, and you feel like a genius even though you literally just typed a sentence, because I am stupid keyboard monkey who all he does is just click, clack, clack. But here's the thing, alright? The more you build, the more you actually understand what's being built, and eventually I had a working game. Hexagonal grid, resource tiles, settlements, roads, cities, dev cards, the robot, the whole shebang, if you will. And I could load it up and actually play a full game of Catan, which I did many times. Probably too many times.
We are calling you from the computer technical department, and it's a call of...
But eventually sitting there just playing with yourself gets a little boring. Or at least that's what I wish I could say, isn't that right, gooners? Anyway, I built some AI players for me to play against. And once I actually had a 4-player game going, it was obvious what the next step was, because I couldn't just sit here playing with the AI. Playing Catan, I mean. What, you thought I was on about fuck? No, I have to let the AI play with itself. Right, you know what? Stop with the innuendos, alright? I made it so the game could run itself and simulate thousands of games. And this is where it got interesting. Because everything broke, yeah, multiple times. It just, for some reason, couldn't handle getting past like 3 games, and I spent like 2 days trying to fix it. So, yeah, but eventually we got there, and there's still some errors, as you'll see in the output from all this. There are still erroneous games that don't simulate properly, and you know what? That's fine. So anyway, I booted up the little Catan simulation that I've made, and I set it to run 10,000 games. And holy, I didn't realise how long this would take. Even after cutting down all of the moves and like the slow-natured pace of Catan, it still took like 9 hours for this to complete. Alright, so I'm just going to cut in here. I know Chezza just said that it took 9 hours, alright, and that's great, good for him. But this is the reality. It took over a day, alright. I ran 5,000 games and it crashed, and then I had to run 5,000 more and it took so long. But we got there, alright. We got 2 sets of 5,000 games. I smashed them together, and 10,000 games. Yeah, easy maths. Anyway, back to the other me. Take it away. I mean, 10,000 is a lot, but damn! I had to figure out something to do with all of that time, so I headed over to Chezza Dev and I hit like and subscribe, which you should too. Don't worry, I'm gonna wait right here until you've liked and subscribed. Have you liked it yet? Good. Because look at that, our simulation's done, and all of our output has been exported into a CSV file, which you don't know is comma-separated values. It's just a simple way of storing a lot of data. And I was trying to store like everything, right? I'm talking starting positions, what numbers were on the board, what resources everyone gathered, how many dev cards people used. I wanted the whole lot so I could know exactly what strategy I would be going for the next time I played Catan against my family. I wanted to win!
Yo, I just won.
What?
Yeah, I just got the longest road. It's over.
Oh yeah, true. Okay.
So I took the whole thing and put it into Claude because, Claude is the GOAT, and asked it to analyze every one of these games and give me the perfect strategy for winning Catan every time. And what I got back was amazing. And honestly, I expected something generic like diversify your resources, aim for ports, get the 2-to-1 trades, that sort of thing. But I was genuinely surprised by what AI said. Alright, so here we are in our Catan analysis dashboard. You can see we've got 8,600 observed games over here because around 1,400 of them were erroneous, but we've had Claude extrapolate it to 10,000 games. which basically means it just takes the previous data and predicts what the next amount of games will be. And we've got a confidence level of 95% because we had so much data previously. The extrapolation is very confident with its predictions. So that it gives us a total of 10,000 games that we can look at. So the starting position, now this is important, all right? The pip total. So the pips are your points on the board. Each number on the board will have little dots underneath them, and those are your pips. All right. The more pips you have, the higher chance of rolling that number in the game. So you can see here, our highest win rate is to have 24 pips or more. That's a 30% win rate if you get 24 pips. Next, resource diversity. Obviously, touching all 5 resources is your best bet. That gives us around a 30% win rate. Alright, dev cards. Right, this is a good one because when you're playing dev cards, you don't usually know how many to go for. And to be honest, I don't think this is optimal. 11 plus cards. And finally, we come to the definitive Catan playbook based on 10,000 simulated games of data. This is AI's magnum opus of playing Catan. Remember this for your next game of Catan. Alright, rule 1, cities. Highest impact, right? You build 3+ cities always. 3 cities has a 63% chance of winning, and it just gets higher the more cities you build. Rule 2, set up resource focus, right? You want grain and ore above everything else. Grain and ore combo wins 40% versus 18.2 for lumber and wool. Rule 3, the setup quality. You want 5 resources, 20 pips, and if you can, a 2-for-1 port. This trifecta hits a 41% win rate. Rule 4, try to get largest army and longest road, both of them. That is an 85% win rate if you get both of them. Rule 5 is your ports. Any port and 3 cities is a 69% win rate. Rule 6, dev cards. Buy 8 to 11, play 5 to 7 nights. Not sure how much I agree with that if you're focused on all the other things, but these are things you want to go for. You probably won't go for all of them, but it's things to keep in mind. Rule 7, resource collection. You want to try and get 20+ ore in grain. Obviously for your city building, you want to maximize your cities to get more and more resources. And rule 8, what to avoid. Never play without cities or ore. If you're lacking ore, you're done. If you have no cities, it's a 5% win rate. You are not winning if you don't have a city. And there you have it. That is the definitive strategy to winning Catan. Now, obviously, this is AI versus AI. Real Catan has humans in it, and these humans who will block you out of pure spite, humans who will refuse to trade even when it clearly benefits them, God, every time! So take this with a grain of salt, pun absolutely intended, but the patterns are real, the data is real, and 10,000 games is a lot of games. If you go and use this at your next game night and it works, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, that's the video. If you want more of this kind of thing, you know, do the subscribe thing. Like the video. It's literally right there. I can see it on your screen. Like, why is your mouse not already over it? Why aren't you clicking it? And why the hell are you still here at this end of the video without subscribing? Jeez! Alright, see ya.